Morning. Oil prices slump. Limited Israeli strike sees risk premium fall away.
US dollar, yen. Analysis, eyes further gains. 28th October 2024. Pound at US dollar, analysis. Downward trend awaits stronger support levels. 28th October 2024.
Hey, Kevin. Long time no see, buddy. What's going on? How's the cereal this morning? Yeah. It's funny though, isn't it? All right, we'll start in about 200 seconds. Euro yen tests the previous high at 164.90 after rejection at $166.
Pound our yen price. Prediction: runaway gap opens as price leaps higher.
Yeah, Kevin, well, you're going to love traders.com. I guess I'll drop a little more coffee in here. Guten Morgen. Have you guys missed the squawk box? Yeah, we put in an upgrade. That's why we had to take it down for a while. So what it's going to do now is, believe it or not, it takes multiple different technologies, but it's going to read the calendar, watch the time, and 15 minutes before a news event, give you a warning. And then when the news event comes out, it'll also alert you again and give you the results. And it'll do it where a pop-up window will pop up and then tell you the news is coming up in 15 minutes. And then when the news comes out, it'll do another pop-up and it'll read the news out loud. It's actually quite complicated. Yeah. All right, I guess we'll go. All right, I will mark this as our beginning. Let me remind you that trading and investing is risky. It's not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term. Never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Whoa, whoa. What's going on there? Is that better? No, well, whatever. Hey, my name is Wayne. It's really good to see you. Good morning. I'm looking forward to a great week. We have non-farm payrolls on Friday. Don't forget that. The election next week. OMG. Lots going on. What is that going on? Oh, anyways. Yeah, lots going on in our world. So, let's get going. We are obviously going to use traders.com for some of our analysis today. Traders.com obviously helps us do our fundamental and technical analysis. We also have what they technically call a boatload of performance coaching every single day. So we'll go over the fundamentals and technicals. So that helps you create, through quantitative analysis, logical and intelligent trading and investing plans. Once you have that, then you need execution. Okay? And you need an ECN. You want straight through processing. Does anybody here actually want their broker to trade against them? Is that what you're looking for? You're like, dude, I need someone to trade against me. I need someone to win when I lose. Is that what you want? I doubt it, right? So you need straight through processing. That's just the bottom line. And it's ultimately likely to be a lot quicker as well, because it goes into a liquidity pool, not into a dark pool. So you need straight through processing for fast and affordable execution. And you also need a good strategy to begin with, right? And so this is like the perfect combo. Traders.com with tradersway.com. Okay, planning and execution. You don't want to be weak on any of those, right? So I've already gone through everything on the fundamentals analytic tool this morning for the fundamental trading team, part of our daily performance coaching on fundamentals. And so we've already done this, but we can do a quick look here. Yields are up on the 10-year. Okay, oil is down based on drill, baby, drill. But also don't bomb, baby, don't bomb. So it's Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. Huh? So anyways, the retaliatory measures by Israel was mild. So that reduces the risk premia. Anyways, gold quite flat, S&P 500 quite flat. Of course, these markets are just opening. Dollar quite flat, and Bitcoin up 2%. And when we do the daily analysis of all these different markets, when we look at things like volatility, gold, US dollar, Japanese yen, what am I missing? The stock market, the options market. When we look at all these different markets, there's not a lot going on, just -1 is where we are. So nothing has really happened so far today. Again, I've gone through all these tabs today. I went over the COT today. Later this week, we're going to do a lot of analysis on employment. So as you know on the calendar, we're going to get JOLTS, we're going to get ADP, we're going to get weekly claims, we're going to get non-farm payrolls, we're going to get unemployment, we're going to get wages, all of this throughout the week. We also spent time doing statistical analysis of things like this euro dollar. We did about 6 or 7 of these assets to realign our satellites as we go into the market, into the new week. So it gives you a sense of the fundamental routine. And so we do that in the morning. I'll just show you where to find these things. So the morning recording is here. Uh-oh, YouTube's going to ban me. All right, so anyways, there it was. That's us doing our thing. So later today, Jessica's going to run her scalping session, and then Peter's going to run his S&P E-mini stock indice trading session. And then later today, I'm doing day trading, setting up tomorrow's trade. So we got a lot going on already. It's a busy, busy, busy Monday for performance coaching. So that's 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hour, plus this one, 4 hours, plus the one earlier, 5 hours. So just today, 5 hours, plus I did one last night. So you might count that as 6 hours of performance coaching just now. Let's take a look at the technicals. You guys like the technicals? Yeah. Okay, triangle pass, A, B, C, D, Right? So this A to B to C, so B to C is like 7/86 of A to B. So that sets up a double top almost. This says lower high. Nonetheless, be prepared for a bigger pullback. So up, but the down, the B to C is too big. You see that? Okay. So what do you prefer to see as a bull? That's what you prefer to see, right? So the concern here with a pattern like this is that dip was pretty low, and maybe it doesn't even get from C to D. Maybe it only C goes back to B and then back down. So anyways, okay, a little less of a dip is desirable for bullishness. I think what that shows is CAD weakness in this whole thing. Again, triangle. Does that show strength or weakness in this asset pair? Make sure you download your flashcards. It's in the description below. That's right. There's non-directional. So Aussie, Kiwi, there's no real indication of up or down. How about Euro? How about pound? Are these better? Oh, they're way better than these triangles. Okay, so if you're looking at the hourly chart, what's your plan for today? Your plan for trading euro yen, okay, and pound yen. Okay, somewhere around these prices, you're going to look to buy the dip. That's what you're looking for. Cool, right? I know. Now, what about Kiwi? La 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 ba 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 da 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 ba da ba da. Okay, what do you think of that? Is this good? Are you guys happy? See how fast you can burn through charts now? Remember, it's not that you have a couple of dozen things to look at today, but there's hundreds of charts to ignore today. Oh, for sure, Richard. Yeah, they're one and the same. Okay, so imagine there's a couple of hundred charts not to look at, meaning there's dozens of like cross pairs and stuff on multiple time frames that are just not worth your time. So these are the only things that are worth your consideration. And then from this, you could very quickly filter where you're like, okay, triangle, not interested, triangle, not interested. Okay. Maybe time for certain time frames. Maybe you're not interested in looking at 15-minute charts. You just pass on those. But then you're like, oh, yeah, okay, that's good. There's an opportunity. I should probably open up my euro yen. Oh, yeah, pound. Like, oh, yeah. Kiwi dollar. Probably should put these on my radar list. These are worthy of your attention. Aussie dollar's going up. Good. Good. That's great. Maybe you should open your Aussie dollar chart and look for something like this now, huh? What do you think? Later today? See? Lovely now. Now you can just open your Aussie dollar and you know exactly what you're looking at. You're not shopping while you're hungry. You're focused. Can you guys see the focus that you have now? Inverse head and shoulders. Okay, what do you think of this? Is this worthy of your time? What do you think? Well, it came out 5 hours ago. See, you were told down here of the inverse head and shoulders. You see that? The vertical line. So 5 hours ago, you were given the heads up on pound. Now, don't feel like you've missed it, because you know if you break the neckline, you probably get the same distance from the neckline to the crown, right? So there's your neckline. So you go to this distance, and then you can project out there that same distance. So maybe this is what you're going to be doing here the rest of the day. Now that makes pound strong, doesn't it? Yeah. Pound is strong. Well, that would make this pound yen really rip to the upside. Good to know, right? Or, Lucas, pound is very strong. Okay? Now, on the big picture here, you see this wonderful pattern? Okay? So this is bigger picture now. 4-hour chart. And what does it say? Pound dollar is likely to go up. So that's okay with this one. And up to 130.36, which is the top of this page, which is almost the distance of the neckline, right? Okay. And then what does it say? Well, the pattern suggests pound dollar down, maybe later today or tomorrow. Well, that's what the pattern says. If you don't like Gartleys, you can turn them off. Okay? And the way that a Gartley actually works, in my humble opinion, is that if you look at this on the daily chart, okay, we're just doing this. That's all it is. And this, A to B to C to D, that's just, okay. Down, consolidate, down. Okay? So I'd like to let everybody know that on Thursday morning, I will not be available for the live stream or for the fundamentals trading team. So Thursday morning, I'm offline. Wednesday morning, I'm going to log in from Chicago, from the Magnificent Mile. Okay, euro dollar. Okay, look at that, huh? Looks like an opportunity. So remember, when you go through the flashcards, the process that I teach is that you analyze everything and say, is it strength or weakness? And is this an opportunity or threat? Meaning this is the outside view of the asset and then your inside point of view. So it's outside versus inside. So the market sees euro dollar as weak. Okay? So we get rid of strength. It's not strength, it's weakness that's exhibited in the general pattern. And so now we have a down arrow. Is that an opportunity or a threat? It's an opportunity. So sell high for all to see and take it downtown. Nice, right? Whoa. You get it? Whoa. It's a weakness and an opportunity. Okay, so imagine every trade you make makes sense. Okay, wouldn't that be killer? Now, we know our CAD is weak, but let's take a look. Okay, here's the high of that old zone. So as long as we're above that, we're still in the mode of buying dips, but Canadian dollar is just not doing very well. So the pattern is a strength pattern, and this dip is an opportunity. But once it makes a lower low, it's not an opportunity. It's a threat. So right now, that's how you would play CAD yen. Just keep in mind, 86% of the market is short the CAD. So it's going up, but this might be all yen. If yen suddenly gets strong, it's going to tear through CAD like a hot samurai sword through, well, we'll just say butter. Okay, so lots of opportunities on the yens. Okay, and then we will take a look at this one. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, what do you think about this idea? Remember, it's just an idea. I don't know the future. So you're like, huh, okay, that'd be interesting. So you'd now go to your charts and say, what about pivot points? What about this? What about that? These are just patterns, folks. They're just patterns. Okay, they're just patterns. They're one component of what you should be doing. So like now we can go to our euro dollar, for example. Or I guess why don't we just use this one? It's pretty much the same trade, right? Big drop, pull back. Okay. And so the way I would measure this if I were me, I'd measure it this way. And you can see I already have it marked. We're in a sell zone. If you're going to be a burr, this is a burr zone. Richard, they already told us. I already have that plotted out. There is going to be a rate hike, and it's going to be in the very beginning of the year, like that sort of January, February part. We've known this for months. The surprise rate hike that we had back in, was it October or September? We had that plotted out on our graph, and it shocked the market. And we're like, they've already told us. So, right? So, yeah. So anyway, so you go here. I got a friend in Jesus. Okay. Fundamentals, central banks. You can pull up yen, and you can pull up yen, and there it is. See, it's plotted. We're already done. 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 Okay, we already have it all planned out. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, next big news event is tomorrow. In the morning, we have jolts. In the evening, we have Australian interest rate decision. The Southern Cross with the Southern Star. That's Australia, isn't it? Or is it New Zealand? I hate to mix that up. The Southern Star with the Southern Cross. That's Australia, isn't it? I guess I can check my passport. Where is it? I don't know where it is. What did I do with it? That's my Trump voice. Kamala! Oh, that meeting that got so bad press yesterday, it was, parts of it were funny. Not that I didn't see the comedian, but Trump was funny. So let's go back to this. Richard says, well, not the next meeting. Yeah, but once again, we already have it plotted out. Yeah. I mean, we already know. It's not like an unknown. There's no need to guess. Well, the way to say it is, okay, instead of your humble opinion, like nobody cares about my opinion. What people care about is what the opinion of the Bank of Japan is. So someone should say, well, what is the Bank of Japan going to do next? Oh, well, they said they were going to raise in the first quarter of 2025. That's how it should be addressed. That's what the answer is. There is no opinion. There is no guess. There isn't what I think or what they think or what the consensus thinks. Because as we've seen, the consensus is very often just non-informed. The consensus is not informed. So I'd rather just say, oh, the Fed said this. The ECB said that. The Bank of Japan has told us the other thing. You see? I just want the facts. Sure, these things can change, and they do change, but I don't want the Bank of America's opinion on what the Bank of Japan is going to do next. Because I think I might actually have more information than they do. And I don't like Bank of America. Yeah. I liked it when I bought Bank of America for $5. I liked it back then. I thought that was a fair price. Yeah. Did anyone else buy Bank of America at $5? Or Delta Airlines was $5? I bought Apple at $6, but that was quite a while ago. So that was 2008. You could have bought Bank of America for $5. And I told everybody I was doing it. And I said, look, the other situation is Bank of America goes to zero. But I said, well, but I believe that the government's going to step in and bail out Bank of America if that happened. They would step in before it got to zero. And they certainly don't want the bad publicity of the Bank of America going out of business, right? So I'm like, they're going to get bailed out. So I put it at like my worst case scenario is I would lose $3 of my $5. But I didn't think that I would lose the entire $5. So it could drop from 5 to 3 and then get bailed out and then go from 3 to 10. So I bought it at $5. And I told FX boot campers the day I bought it, what I did it, why I did it, when I did it. It was basically right then and there live. Cool days, huh? So we're up against 66.6666%. Oh, that's not a Fibonacci number. No, it's a Wainanachi. It's magic, everybody. It's based on the ratio of teeth in a great white shark. So you have to believe it because it's natural and it's magic. So you have all that, and then what you want to do at some point is then filter it with pivot points and all that kind of stuff. But I've taken pivot points out of this long ago because what I showed you is it's not actually trending. This is just moving to the bottom of the range. If we're going to bet on China and risk on mood for 2025, then eventually you want to buy the dip and hang on for dear life. Hodl. So that's just where we are in the map. We could probably get down to the 2618. Okay, so this could drop. We're at 60 now, which obviously is a psych level. But, 58. Maybe it drops to 58. Well, you'd want to add pivot points there. Just realize that pivot points are generally a trending tool. Here's our move in the pig dog. Remember, the counter trend and the front run is something that I've been talking about here on our live stream nearly every day for at least 2 weeks, that it was coming up and that we're here and that we would likely to see the counter trend turn into a front run. And it came down, hit the weekly S2 perfectly, and immediately has recovered. And now there's a higher low off the weekly M2, which predicts weekly M4. Like, oh my God, is that an inverse head and shoulders? Yeah, well, TRADARS already showed you that, so that's a cheat. We already showed you this. TRADARS has it on the technical radars. Down, 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 up, up, down, 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 up, up, right? And this is supposed to go here, and then probably like this. Somewhere in there, right? Right? You saw that on the technical radars? Yeah. But the thing is, I predicted it when we were to the left. What I didn't know is the price, but I knew sort of it was the right time where it could have reversed on this price because that's monthly. It came down to weekly and then popped back up just like it's supposed to. And now here's the weekly as support. And if it makes a higher high and gets above 130, the target is basically 131 and then some, right? And we have that going. Yeah, I know. And you want to get long, jam your stop and see if you can be up 100 or 200 pips going into the election, and then see if you could ride the bucking bronco for 8 seconds. Okay? You starting to see it? I mean, we talked about it every day for 2 weeks. It's plausible now, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Do bow bow. Chick, chick, chicka. Do, 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 do. My streaming software says nobody's clicked the thumbs up button. Is that right? Maybe I need to refresh. Nobody clicked thumbs up? Oh, thank you. Refresh. I guess I got to refresh. Cool. Thank you. All right, so half of you have clicked it. All right, the other half, they're borderline. All right, so what do you think about this one? If, so remember, if is not a certain statement. It's an uncertain statement. If this price level holds, then there's a chance of this. Part of this is a bearish exit. And if you get a pattern, this was a bullish entry. Okay? So we are looking for this pattern. Oh, burned. We've added some technology to it. It's really cool. Let me show you actually. Yeah. Now, one of the changes is down on the ticker tape. It just says the live price and the percentage change. So pound yen is up 2.86% today. Yeah, I know. And I'm answering that, Bernd. Hang on. We also developed technology. I don't know if you want to call it an algo or AI but it's actually like, we had to use it was a lot, I don't know, 3 or 4, maybe 5 products on Amazon Web Services. So it's not as easy as you would think. But we now read the calendar. So for example, in 5 hours and 48 minutes, there's a speech. In 17 hours and 3 minutes, okay, we have German consumer confidence, right? So let's take that one as an example. We have to use multiple technologies in the back office, but we look at the code. It doesn't actually read this with eyeballs, right? And it sees that in 17 hours and 3 minutes, this news is coming out. It knows the consensus. It knows the previous. Okay. All right, let me close that. Okay, great. So now, 15 minutes before this comes out, a pop-up will pop up, And I think I'm going to have it play a noise like, "Arr!" like a warning. And then a voice will say, German consumer confidence coming out in 15 minutes. Okay? Negative 20.5 expected, something like that. And then immediately when the news comes out, another window will pop up or a window will pop up again, and it'll read the news, the actual headline news. A voice will come on and read it to you, and it'll have it flashed on a pop-up so you can see it immediately. And then it'll fade away. So we've been working on that for the last 7 or 8 days. And so we had to test the code, and then over the weekend, we applied the code. The other thing I've been working on is the server that runs this and provide the squawk for you. And it just is not working the way it's supposed to. And so I spent 3 hours yesterday on tech support. And the end result of 3 hours is the tech support person posted a ticket. So that's the other part burned. But massive upgrades is not a bad delay, right? So it should be up there, I don't know, soon. Next week, maybe. Yeah, it sounds cool. But, again, reading the calendar and then saying it out loud, that sounds pretty easy, right? But it's not. Like, we had to plot this out. I don't know if so this is how we do it. I'll show you. So this is how we read it. This is how we do it. Okay. See? And then and then boom, we just put it on YouTube. It's not a small project, but we're done actually, it seems. So now I got to see if I can figure out why the server isn't behaving the way it's supposed to. So anyways, we're looking at this. Pound yen is up. You see the flashing colors. Red is down. Green is up. Gold is up 3.43%. It's cool, right? Yeah, that's right, Dan the man. But it just shows you, it's a proper project. And for those who are not familiar with a squawk, usually that costs a lot of money. And I'm building it and giving it away for free. All right. We can look at some of these yens. Okay, higher high, higher low. So what do you think? Okay, what do we think? I know it's dangerous because it looks like a double top, but it's not dangerous until it is made a lower low. You can look at Aussie. We're now into the apex. Is that right, Dan the man? Right on. Okay, we could take a look at Kiwi. Again, I've already plotted all this out. several to many weeks ago. So it just shows you where we are in the planning process. Obviously, we got NFP coming up. Okay. And then we have the election. And then we have the Fed interest rate decision. Friday, non-farm payrolls. Tuesday, the election. Thursday, the Fed decision. Gee whiz, there's lots of reason for consolidation right now. Okay. Now, if you look at Euro Yen, it makes sense, doesn't it? Okay. What have I taught you in the training course? When you start the move down at this price, the target of the move is that price. We hit the target and stopped. So now you're really setting yourself up for later. Is that what's next? I don't know. What are you planning? That's what you should be thinking about. This is the top of the market. That's all been defined. Okay, so what's next? So you might have TRADARS technical tools look for bullish patterns for you. Okay? And what do you think of something basic, like a general strategy that looked like this? What do you stink? Smell like a plan? Okay, the variation to that, the aggressive variation is like that. You guys want to do gold and oil and Bitcoin? Who wants to do commodities? Sir, yes, sir. Can I have commodities, sir? There should be a Jody for it, right? I like silver. I like gold. It just sounds like a Jody, right? Yeah. Ashraf is like, yeah, I like silver. I like oil. Yeah, you have to say it just right. It helps to have a southern accent, I guess, huh? Oh. So anyways, there's your gold. There's your gold. If you recall, we've set this up in the past. Plan A, Plan B. Plan A, buy it off the moving averages. Plan B, buy it off the roll reversal. So down, okay, some choppiness. Higher high, higher low. It's viable still. It's viably, right? If you look at it that way, you see? Or you look at it as down, up, down, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Okay, but you might look at it as potentially a rising wedge. We don't know yet. I wouldn't call it a triangle. No. No, not with a preceding trend like this. Okay. Well, Dan the man, look at the rise in yields. Money is coming out of treasuries and it's going somewhere. Looks like it might be going into gold. Also, I've spent a few hours recently talking about how it could be central bank purchasing to weaken currencies. Okay. Also, going back to the, Ben's like, hey, it's a triangle. It would be a triangle to me if it looked like this, but the higher high, higher low changes things. So I draw my primary line this way in my mind. Okay. If it couldn't make a higher high, or if it couldn't make a lower low, then that's non-directional. It's making higher highs and higher lows. Okay. That's how I filter through that. Okay, you can see even my biased pivots are slightly bullish. And if you wanted, okay, you can do one of these things. Okay, and you focus on that part of the trend. So there's your gold. So we have 42 likes. I'll tell you what, if we can get to 50 likes, I'll do some Bitcoin and I can do some silver and I can use some WTI. So I'll do gold, Bitcoin, and WTI if we can get to 50 likes. That's right. Do 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 do. Oh, we only need 4 more. So a reminder, Peter Ward's performance coaching today is at 2:30 Eastern Time. And that's after Coach Jessica's performance coaching on scalping. So lots going on. Oh, we can't get through 46, huh? That's it, huh? Oh, it's close. 46. 4 more likes. 47 likes. We need 3 more likes to do WTI, Bitcoin, and silver. Oh, someone took a like off. Okay. Nope, they put it back. You can just wait. 48. We need 2 more. Thanks, Ashraf. I tried that, Kevin. I tried wearing tank tops for a while, but it was revolting. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, 2 more. Come on, guys. 2 more likes. And we'll do silver, Bitcoin, and my WTI. Do. Ooh. I mean, there's more people watching than 50, and assuming everyone has stayed the entire time. I see someone removed a like, thumbs down. So some of the people that are watching would rather click thumbs down than click thumbs up. How funny is that, huh? But it shows like there's still enough. There are still people that haven't, because I know I'd say lots of people come in for 20 or 30 minutes and then leave, right? So it seems like there's still just a couple of dozen people that don't click the thumbs up button. For shame, huh? Hey man, I'm just trying to help the Forex world. I'm just trying to make my contribution. Well, maybe I'll just run the squawk over here, huh? I'll run the squawk over here for a while, and you can just watch the squawk, and I'll read the news to you. Oh, wait! Someone logged into their second account and clicked thumbs up on their second account. Well, thank you to those that did. So we do have 50. Okay? No prints, they update every day, but on the calculations. Yeah, on the calculations, daily calculations of the month over month. So the monthly updates every day. Cool, right? I know you wouldn't have it any other way, Prince. All right, so we have 50 likes. Thank you, everybody. Muchas gracias. Muy bien. Yada, yada, yada. Let's start with the silver. Poor man's gold. Gold. All right, we have 2 plans going on here. One is based on pulling back into the moving averages. Okay. And another one is a roll reversal. Okay, so daily 5 EMA is what's holding us up right now, and that would be bullish. It's also a 33.333. Not a Fibonacci, a Wainanachi. Yeah, a Wainanachi, because Fibonacci's stupid. Sound like Trump, right? There are a lot of stupid people. A lot of stupid politicians. Many of the generals, they're stupid. Not all generals, but those generals are stupid people. But anyways, measuring all of this, plan A, kick it off the 5 EMA on the daily. Then the man says, is he lying? Well, do you think the military promotes people because they're smart? Well, I didn't serve in the military, so it would be inappropriate for me to say so. But I do know people that served in active combat. And I don't know. Okay, talk to them. But there are different ways to promote people, right? So I'm very pro-capitalist, right? I like the best to rise to the top. But like when you look at the airline industry, instead of military, let's talk about the airline industry. They promote by seniority. So when you travel internationally, right? I'll give you an example. I was flying from I can't remember, Asia, I guess, Singapore. I think it was Singapore. I was flying home from Singapore, first class, Delta Airlines. Well, because it works by seniority, the people that have worked at Delta the longest get the best routes. In fact, they can choose their routes. So you could have 5 stops a day flying from Minneapolis to St. Louis, right, to, I don't know, Cleveland, down to, I don't know, pick another town and then back to Delta, right? Or you could just fly to Singapore, spend 3 days in Singapore, and then come home. So guess what? The people that have been around the longest tend to choose not Cleveland, where you just spend an hour in Cleveland, get some lunch, and then you go to St. Louis, unboard the plane, reboard the plane. Like, oh, how terrible would that be, right? Well, instead, just fly to Singapore and then party when you're in Singapore and someone else pays for your hotel room and some food. So the old people that have worked at Delta for 50 years, get those routes. So this is a real experience of mine. So I'm flying back from Singapore. One man, right, one of the stewards of first class, he was too old to even do the job. I'm not even joking. He couldn't lift the thing up into the overhead and stuff like that. So some of the other women had to do it. He was just too old. You can tell by the way he walked. He was just too old. I'm like, dude, this guy shouldn't be. Like, if it came down to like saving my life, I don't think he could do it, honestly. And then the other women that were running first class, they were also senior age, like above 60, still working. I don't know if they're 65 or 68, but like no spring chickens. And so anyway, which isn't a problem. They did their job okay. But then when, it was time to like serve drinks or something, she's like, can I get you a drink, sir? And I'm like, oh, yeah, what kind of whiskey do you have? Do you have bourbon? And she didn't know what I was talking about. She's like, oh, I don't drink. I'm like, I don't give two hoots if you drink or not. That's not my problem. Like, I would like a bourbon. But she's like, I don't know anything about bourbon. Why are you here? Well, I've worked at Delta for 60 years, but I don't know anything about bourbon. This is first class. Like, first class. When you fly on, like, a Middle Eastern airline, oh, my gosh. First class, or an Asian airline, oh, my gosh, right? This woman's like, I don't know. I'll just bring you a menu. And you just point with your finger. Yeah, get that one. Yeah, get that one. Okay. I mean, just Yeah. So it's just funny. And I'm not in favor of that. Right? I'm not in favor of that. I'd rather have young people that are like going to provide 5-star service. I don't want old people that just want a free trip to Singapore and are barely qualified to do the job. Like, really, she wasn't trained on how to serve. Even the way she spoke to me was weird. And like, what the heck is this woman all about? And so I'd rather have like 5-star service. Yeah. And the reason why I bring this up is it's a way of looking at sort of the military. Sometimes promotions they're not necessarily made because you're the best. Another example would be a sales manager on a sales team. Who's the manager? The idiot that couldn't close a frickin' deal to save his life, but everybody likes him. Who's the sales manager? Ted! Oh, he's a great guy, that Ted. He makes me laugh. Shitty salesman, but he's a good guy. So everyone wants to keep him around. All right, Ted, well, you're not making any money. We all know you're going to go bankrupt. So, why don't you become sales manager? Same thing, right? So, yes. So the military doesn't necessarily promote you because you're smart, is what we're going at. Could you be a dumb general? Yeah, you could be a dumb general that knows the military. So a friend of mine, he wrote a book with his professor. I think they went to he went to Michigan, Ann Arbor. So his one of his MBA professors wrote a book with him, and they were talking about leadership, and they interviewed a lot of people from the military and sports and business and all that. But one of the stories that they researched was pretty interesting, where it was the computer making decisions against people in a mock war. So the military does mock wars, which is kind of interesting. And and so the machine was beating the humans over and over and over again. And by the way, this is in 1990. Okay. But the machines were beating the generals. So they got rid of some of their generals in this exercise. I don't think they permanently fired them right then and there, but it's disconcerting, right? So then they got some younger officers that were moving up the chain, and they said, okay, let's see if you can beat the machine to battle like this huge battle. And so what they said is, all right, they're going to make strategic decisions, and then they're going to work with the senior officers, like the lieutenants and such, right? Maybe the majors, and then the majors work with the lieutenants or whatever. But they work with the senior officers first, and they're like, okay, here's the strategy. And they lay out the strategy. So whether you're a captain or a major or a colonel, okay, you knew what the plan was. But when it got to lieutenant and down to the non-coms, they were also informed what the strategy was. Okay, these are your objectives. Okay, but they were given the freedom to make decisions on the fly, tactically adapt, but still achieve the strategy, right? And it was so they got rid of the chain of command. They basically got rid of the generals. The generals designed the strategy, and that's it. And they beat the computer. So there's hope for humans, but of course that was 1990. So there's your silver, Bitcoin, bitty, can't you see? Sometimes your trades just hypnotize me. Okay, let's measure this. Okay, to about that low point. Okay. So what do you think? So this is 74. And the November projected high is 74. Oh, Ashish, well, that's not the one. I believe it's called the Leadership Engine. My buddy, not my buddy, but I knew Eli Cohen, but he was my friend's friend. So I went visit. I knew of him, met him a couple of times, hung out at his apartment once, but we were not really friends. But it was he and his professor. What was the professor? Tichy? Do I even have it in this? Oh, found it. Oh, dude, Tichy. Can you believe that? Oh, my God. Dude, I can't believe I remembered the author's name. Tichy. It's Tichy. I haven't read this book for 30 years, and I was right on the name. Looks like I lost the cover, the jacket, dusk jacket. Oh, I'm wrong. 1997. Just wondering where the story was. It's good to see that in the 90s, I would highlight things and then write things in the column. What a smart kid. Look at all that. Look at all that. It's kind of interesting. Good. But I can't find the story. Ooh. Wow, these notes are amazing. Sorry. So he's talking about Lou Platt, the CEO of Hewlett Packard, and I have a note here that I met Platt at the Business Person of the Year dinner in 1994. I just wrote that down. I met this guy. And then I wrote beneath that, my number one rule, surround yourself with successful people. This is exactly why I started FX Bootcamp. So anyways, I got all these notes in here. What a smart kid! I'm going to have to reread it just so I can read my notes. Here's what I wrote on this page. Idea, share, involve, mentor, follow through, review, reflect, closure. Dude, I do that stuff today. That sounds smart. I'm going to have to read my notes. Wow. Cool. Hey, thanks for bringing that up. I'm going to have to reread that book. Yeah, but that's all the stuff that I still do. Wow. Crazy. It's weird. I guess if you keep a journal, I guess that, a personal journal. I don't know if people will go back and read their journals. Okay, so now when we look at this, okay, we have to see if we're going to continue, and the threat to that pattern is right here, 75. Okay, actually a little less than 75. And that gets to a psych level, it gets to a pivot level, it gets to a double top level. Okay. So, yeah. Ooh, boy, this looks good. The silver looks good. Okay, let's take a look at the bigger picture for oil. And all we did was get to my buy zone. Let me go out weekly, just so you can see it. Okay. It seems like oil has done a lot, but it hasn't. We had the big spike and collapse of 2022. This is when I did the oil trading course. Then it collapsed down to the 62 zone. And we simply did an M2 to central pivot. That's not even but that's because these pivots were so wide because of the year before. So now we have tight pivots. We didn't even get to R1, and we're nowhere near S1. So, right? But look at all of this, you might feel is supportive up. Okay, we're closer and closer and closer, I think, huh? Okay, so the risk premia has been removed. And so now we're looking for supply and demand equilibrium. But we are at support, which means lower than this is plausible but difficult. And you see my price action pivot points are already kind of calculating this anyways. But it'd be interesting if it does head north, if it becomes an opportunity again. Drill baby drill will probably bring it down. So if Trump is the perceived winner, oil prices will probably drop. So the question is, drop to what? And yeah, that gets difficult to call as well, huh? Okay, not to zero. I think we could agree on that. But what's the next level? Is it down here? Well, if you drill that much oil, it's plausible that fracking isn't even profitable. So we have to kind of figure out what the minimal acceptable price for fracking is. If we were to drop to 38, I would expect that we're actually in a price war, and that OPEC is pushing it down on purpose too. Now, lower prices are actually good for the United States. It just wouldn't be profitable for those producing the oil. But it'd be good for China. It'd be good for Japan. It would hurt Iran. It'd hurt Russia. But I'm not going to price that in, right? Ashraf, I'm not American. I don't get to vote. But my family has voted. I have a very astute wife. So my children had their birth certificates on their first day, but by their second day of life, they had a college savings account opened in their name. And by the end of their first month, they already had passports. And so my wife and I took my daughter to Spain, and she was an itty bitty, and she traveled on her passport. So we don't mess around. When you can vote, you do vote, and that's that. We're not a leave it to the last second kind of family. Yeah. So my son and my daughter are teenagers, and they already have retirement accounts. They already saved money for retirement when they're 70. Yeah. We don't mess around. Yeah. Yeah, so the answer is I can't vote, but everybody else did. So anyways, A and B is the way to look at that. Plan A, plan B. Yeah, it's not because of me. It's because I have a great wife who also happens to be a fantastic mother. So, and I'm inherently lazy and in the way. But I kill bugs. Yeah. Oh, and I can bring the ladder from the garage. I do that pretty good. Oh, you just have to ask me 3 times. So we did oil. There's an A and a B in which I'm looking for support. We did Bitcoin, and it looked like up until resistance. We did silver, which looked like buy the dip. Okay. Plan A looks pretty nice. Since plan B is way down there, there's no need to worry about plan A. So what are you looking at? Well, it should be pretty straightforward, right? And you know how to do price action, right? Lower low. Do you buy lower lows? No. Do you buy a lower low? No. Do you buy a lower low? No. Do you buy a higher or double bottom or higher low? Maybe. How about another higher low? Maybe. How about a higher high, higher low? For sure. Higher high, higher low. Higher high, low. Yeah.
Pound sterling surges ahead of UK budget, US labor, and economic data.
You guys want me to run this for a while? Right here, should I leave the live stream going? There's no real news until tomorrow. We have an ECB speech in 5 hours. But we have the real-time calendar, we have real-time price feed, we have real-time news, and we have real-time patterns. So Aussie yen up and then down, 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 down. You guys want me to run this or should I just end it? Euro US dollar edges higher. German consumer confidence next. What a wonderful speaking voice. Pound US dollar price forecast bullish but stalls at 13,000.
Jamie Dimon, the American economy is still booming.
Yeah, it's weird to clone your own voice. But life is weird. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to run it over at the tradars.com or the YouTube channel. How about that? So if you guys want to come over in a minute, or I guess I can set it up first. Why don't I set it up first? Hang on. And then I'll give you the URL. Almost done. Okay, I need to grab the stream key. Okay. Well, I guess I need to grab, first of all, the URLs for you to join. Where do I grab that? Guess I gotta go to edit. Where the heck? Oh, share. Okay. Copy. Okay. Now I'll go over here. All right, so I'm going to run it over here, okay? I'll see you over there right now. It'll start in just 20 seconds. Cheers.